Hi, I'm Lexi Boncek here with Sophia Flower. Welcome to Wellness Hour, where we talk about the health habits of high school students.
It is extremely important to build healthy daily habits physically and mentally. So we are going to discuss our thoughts after asking students here at Wayne Hills High School.
First, let's start off with the topic of sleep.
The recommended amount of sleep for a teenager is 8 to 10 hours per night.
We asked about how many hours of sleep they get per night.
68.2% of students said that they get 5 to 6 hours of sleep.
For me, I usually get around 5 to 6 as well, even though that's probably not enough. But it's just kind of hard, like managing my time that way.
Me too. I have a lot of activities and homework after school, so I also usually get about 5 to 6.
Yeah. There's been talk about a later start time in schools, but I'm not too sure what I think about it. What do you think?
Personally, I think that students may be getting the same amount of sleep regardless of what time school starts due to going to sleep later.
Yeah, I also wouldn't like to get out of school later in the day because I feel like that kind of messes up sports and everything, and then I'd be getting home really late.
Yeah, I agree. Nutrition can be very complicated, but next we are going to discuss some of the general and simple topics within nutrition.
Caffeine feels like a necessity for a lot of people, especially in the morning.
Personally, I cannot begin my mornings without my iced coffee.
Too much caffeine can be really bad for you, though. The recommendation for high school students is no more than 100 milligrams of caffeine per day. This may seem like a lot, but it really adds up considering that 1 cup of coffee is about 95 milligrams alone.
We asked some of the Wayne Hills students about their daily intake of caffeine, and here are their responses.
68.2% of students said that they have a daily amount of caffeine per day. To my surprise, 27.3% said they don't have any caffeine. I have caffeine every day. I probably have too much. I don't really know. I don't really keep track. What about you?
I usually have 1 cup of coffee per day, but sometimes on the weekends or if I'm going out, I do have more, but I definitely need coffee every day.
Yeah, and also something I didn't realize is that Starbucks refreshers actually have caffeine, and I feel like every time I drink those, I don't even recognize that at all.
Yeah, I think a lot of juices sometimes have caffeine, but since it's not coffee or an energy drink, sometimes people don't realize that.
Yeah. With all the caffeine we drink daily, you would think it'd be really easy to drink enough water.
According to the CNN Health, the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that 54.5% of children and teenagers were dehydrated.
Wow, that's a really crazy number. For the next chart, we asked students about how many bottles of water they drink per day.
Teenagers should be drinking around 8 bottles of water per day, so as you can see, most students are not drinking enough water.
I think it's a lot easier to drink water when you have I have 1 cup that I always use all the time. It's like a tumbler, and yeah, so I think it's just that makes it easier for me. What about you?
I think those cups that have the markings on it, like 8 a.m., really help time management, so
Yeah.
you know you're drinking enough water per day, and they're usually pretty big too.
Yeah. When it comes to exercise, a lot of students tend to get their exercise in from sports, but when the season ends, around 60 minutes of physical activity are still required per day.
I know a lot of students who go to the gym, but even something as simple as walking is great.
Yeah, I love going on walks outside with my dog or my friends or even by myself sometimes.
Me too. I think it's also really important to recognize that it is good to take breaks from exercise, and you shouldn't push yourself too hard.
I agree. We asked students if they try to exercise every day, and as shown, most of them said yes. To begin on the topic of mental health, let's talk about managing time.
Between school, work, extracurricular activities, family life, and time with friends, it's easy to get caught up in all of it and become very stressed.
This next chart shows how many hours students spend on schoolwork per day at home.
50% of students said that they spend 3 to 4 hours per day at home doing schoolwork.
Although it is very important to work hard in school, overworking yourself can really harm your mental health.
I think for me, a lot, when I have too much homework, it becomes super stressful and I can't really focus on it at all.
Yeah, I think it's really important to kind of manage how when you do your work, because a lot of times I tend to do it last second, and that really stresses me out.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to poor time management, another common harm to mental health, especially in teenagers, is social media.
Not only does social media set unrealistic standards, but it can also be addicting and take your mind off what you really should value in life, such as loved ones.
This chart shows the average daily screen times of students. Most either have 7 to 9 hours of screen time or 4 to 6. The screen time statistics can be shocking, even as some students themselves who don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think I also get super caught off in social media, especially after school since I've been working all day. Once I get on my phone, it's really hard to get off, and sometimes I don't even realize how much time has passed.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Like, I'll check my screen time, and I don't even go for school that long. It's just crazy how long I'm on social media per day.
The next chart demonstrates the answers we have received when we asked students if they use social media every day. Clearly, most students said yes.
I feel like that's pretty expected, and it makes sense. You want to keep in touch with your friends and family and everything.
I think our generation has a lot more ways of communicating, such as Snapchat and Instagram. So without just having texting or just calling people, I think those social media apps just really draw kids in since they can communicate with so many more people.
Yeah, there's definitely a positive side to all of it. So even if you're only on it for 10 minutes a day, that counts towards this question. But I think it can be, it could be an okay thing.
To finish off our show today, let's talk about some recommended simple habits that can help students live a healthier life.
One common habit that many people are guilty of, including me, is using electronic devices right when they go to sleep and right when they wake up.
Next, we asked students if they use electronics right before going to sleep.
It makes sense that people would use electronics before they go to sleep. For me, I feel like watching TV actually helps me fall asleep.
But studies show that electronics can make it harder to fall asleep, leading to unhealthy sleeping patterns.
Yeah, I watch TV almost every night before I fall asleep, and I think it's helping me, but it's really not.
Yeah, me too. I watch TV every night to fall asleep, and also I usually go on my phone right before I'm going to sleep, just because I'm finishing up stuff, making sure I didn't miss anything for the day, and I think that although I'm trying to be productive with it, it can harm my mental health more, and I should just put the phone down an hour before I go to sleep.
Yeah, definitely.
Lastly, we asked students if they use their phone immediately when they wake up. The results were pretty close between sometimes and always.
I always use my phone right when I wake up, especially because I have my alarm that goes off my phone, so it's hard to not just, shut it off and go on my phone.
Me too. I don't really have a clock in my room, so I kind of just use my phone as my clock, so I definitely turn it on right when I wake up.
Yeah. Thank you for watching Wellness Hour, and have a happy and healthy holidays.